So welcome to the next session, session number 7, I guess, right? So in this we are starting with a new type of beam that is also called flange beams or T-beams, right? So as you can see in your figure, there is a slab and this is a beam. Slab beam management has been shown. As you can see, this is a slab part and there is a beam parts. So reinforced concrete slabs used in floors and roofs are mostly cast monolithically with the beams. Under the action of sagging, bending moment, that is simply supported beams or between the supports of a continuous beam, the slab up to a certain width greater than the width of beam forms the top part of the beam. So as you can see the dotted line, this is the part of a beam, this becomes a part of a beam. So this circle part is whole a part of a beam, right, which is called a T-beam, or it is also called flange beam if it is in the interior part. If it is on the left hand side, as you can see here, on the left hand side or at the end, it is called L-beams. So depending on the shape, it is divided into T-beams or L-beams. Such beams are designated as the flange beams, either T or L type, depending on whether slab is on both sides or on one side of the beam. So the neutral axis has been shown by a dotted line. Top part is under compression and bottom part is under tension. So over the supports of a continuous beam, the bending moment is hogging and the slab is in tension while a part of the rectangular beam rib is in compression. At support, it behaves like a rectangular beam only. So you need to take this in mind that at supports, exactly at support, it behaves like a rectangular beam only. So effective width of flange. So suppose we take the same example. The center distance between the support is L1 and L2, right? And end-to-end distance, that is clear span, is X1 and X2. And DF is equal to flange thickness or slab depth. So this is the effective section for T-beam and this is the effective section for L-beam. So center to center distance has been marked, right, by blue dotted line. This is X by 2 for the span, X1 by 2 for the span L1 and X2 by 2 for the span XL2. So this distance is called actual width of flange, that is capital B, and we are concerned about the effective width of flange, that is BF. Right? So this is the effective width of flange BF. We are more concerned about finding the value of this. So DF is again flange thickness or slab depth. BW is the width of your beam. So let us see. Actual width of flange beam, that is capital B, is equal to distance between middle points of the adjacent spans of the slab, as we have seen in the figure, and effective width of flange, that is BF. It is calculated as per clause number 23.1.2 of IS 456-2000. So this is a cutting that I have taken from that code only. If you want to see, you can see this in directly code also. This is clause number 23.1.1, this is 23.1.2, effective width of flange, and these are the formula. For T beams, BF is equal to L0 divided by 6 plus BW plus 6D. For L beams, BF is equal to L0 divided by 12 plus BW plus 3 into D. For isolated beams, there are different values for T beams and L beams given. So we are going to use these values given in clause number 23.1.2, page number 37. So here we need to take care that BF is less than or equal to BW plus X1 by 2 plus X2 by 2. Effective width concept is used to assume constant compressive stress. The neutral axis of the flange beam may be either in planes or in web, depending on the physical dimensions of first, effective width of flange BF, width of web BW, thickness of flange DF, effective depth of flange beam D, and area of change. So depending on all these parameters, the neutral axis can either be in the flange or it can be in the web also. Now let us start with the analysis of a flanged sections. So first case, that neutral axis is in the flange, XU is less than DF. Case number 1. So the neutral axis is in the plane, that is the top part of the T, right? And XU is less than the depth of slab, that is DF. Case number 2, neutral axis is in the web and the section is balanced, that is XU is greater than DF and XU is equal to XU max. And case number 3, neutral axis is in the web and the section is under reinforced, that is XU max is greater than XU is greater than DF. Case number 4 is neutral axis is in the web and the section is over reinforced section, that is XU is greater than XU max is greater than DF. So these are the 4 cases for which we need to do the analysis of our flanged section. So let us start with case number 1, that neutral axis is in the flange, so that means XU is less than DF. So we have the straight line diagram already with us. So now we need to draw for T sections. Right? So this is DF, the top part that is effective width of lane, that is BF, then width of beam is BW, that is width of wave also, area of steel, and neutral axis is XU is less than DF, so it is in the flange part. This is effective depth, overall depth from bottom to top. Right. So this is a strain diagram first. So top compression is 0.0035. Right. At the level of steel, we have strain as 0.002, that is denoted by H distance. The up to the neutral axis distance is XU from topmost compression fiber. At bottom, we have 0.87 Fy divided by ES plus 0.002. So this is a strain diagram. And we have a stress diagram which is 0.446 FCK. We have compression force and we have a tension force, that is 0.87 Fy AST. So this is a stress strain diagram. This can be asked many times in the interviews also, like draw the stress strain diagram for the T beam. So this is case number 1, the neutral axis is in the flange. So it is marked as yellow. So moment of resistance MU, if you want to calculate, the flange beam may be considered as a rectangular beam of width BF and effective depth D as the concrete in tension is ignored. Right? So this is the thing in the case number 1. So MU is computed like a rectangular beam of size BF into D. So only thing different from the previous analysis for rectangular beam is that we need to use BF in the formula instead of B in the calculations. So let us see one small example so that you can understand about what we are talking here. The formulas are same as for the rectangular sections, right? So let us see how to use the formula. So determine the moment of resistance of a T beam. Given data is BF is equal to 1000 mm, DF is 100, BW is 300 mm, cover given as 37.5 mm, overall depth is 500 mm, area of steel 1963 mm square, M20 grade concrete and Fe415 grade steel. So this is the data given. You need to find out the moment of resistance for the T. So first step, we need to find out effective depth. So effective cover is equal to clear cover plus half of the diameter of the bar. So clear cover given the data is 37.5 plus diameter is given as 25, so 25 divided by 2. So get your answer somewhere around 49.5. So we take it as 50 mm. So effective depth small d is equal to overall depth minus effective cover, which is 50. So we get our small d, that is effective depth, as 450 mm. Step number 2, depth of neutral axis XU. So assume neutral axis be in the flange, that is XU is less than DF. So for equilibrium, compression is equal to tension. So 0.36 FCK BF into XU. This is the difference only. Right here we are using BF instead of B is equal to 0.87 Fy AST. So only unknown value is XU. So if you substitute all the values, get the XU value as 98.44 mm, which is less than 100 mm, which is DF. Therefore, whatever we assume that our depth of flange middle axis is in the flange, that assumption is correct. Then we need to find out depth of XU max for balanced case. So we have a formula for that using the similar triangle rule. Right now formula, this is the similar triangle rule. 0.0035 divided by XU max is equal to 0.87 Fy divided by ES plus 0.002 divided by D minus XU max. So if you substitute all the values, you can find this XU max value as 215.6, or you can find the same value. You can find the same value using net XU max, XU divided by D value for Fe415 as 0.48 from IS 456. Right? So both way you get same answer. So here XU is less than XU max, hence the beam is under reinforced and the failure is due to yielding of tension steel. So whenever your beam is under reinforced, then the failure will be due to yielding of tension steel always. So to calculate MU, we can use MU is equal to tension force multiplied by lever arm. So tension force is 0.87 Fy AHT, lever arm is D minus 0.42 XU. Right? So XU is 98.44. So if you put the values, you got MU value as 289.63 kilonewton into meter. So this is how we solve the moment of resistance. Then moving to the case number 2, when the neutral axis is in the web and the section is balanced section, that is XU max is greater than DF. So in that there are two sub cases. First is when DF divided by D is less than or equal to 0.2. DF divided by D is less than or equal to 0.2. So the depth of rectangular portion of the stress block of the constant stress 0.446 FCK is greater than depth of flange. So whatever stress diagram we are drawing, in that there is a rectangular portion, right? So that depth is greater than DF. So this you can see, this is the depth of the rectangular portion. Sorry, this is the depth of rectangular portion and this is the DF. So this depth of rectangular portion is greater than the DF value. Right, so this is a stress diagram that we are going to use. So as you can see, this is the neutral axis point is in web now. Right, neutral axis is in the web now. The section is split into two parts. First, rectangular web of width BW and effective depth D, and second part, flange of width BF minus BW and depth DF. So let's see how it is being done. So this is the first part, that is BF and overall depth D, and it is again separated into two parts. This BF minus BW divided by 2. So this first we will do the analysis of this part, then we do the analysis of the rectangular part. This is the second part, right? And this is a stress diagram for that 0.446 FCK. This is H, XU max, neutral axis 0.87 Fy AHT, effective depth, right? So this is a flange part and this is a web part. So we do the analysis separately for flange and for web. So one force is acting, compression force in web, compression force in flange. So total compression force C is equal to compression force in flange CF plus compression force in web CW. So CF and CF as I mentioned. So CF is equal to 0.446 FCK into DF into BF minus BW. CW will be area of stress block multiplied by BW. So area of stress block is 0.36 FCK XU max into BW. So CF and CW, both the values are with us now. So we can easily find out the total compression by substituting the value of CF and CW. And we also have a tension force 0.87 Fy AHT. Here the lever arm will be the lever arm of the rectangular beam, that is web part, is ZW is equal to D minus 0.42 XU max, and for flange part is ZF, which is D minus 0.5 times DF. So I request you to please note down all these formulas because we are going to use this formula when we solve the example. Then if you want to calculate the limiting moment of resistance, so So for balanced section, total moment is equal to mu limiting is equal to moment in web plus moment in flange. So moment in web is equal to moment due to rectangular web part, which is CW into ZW. So substitute both the values, you get this equation for moment in web. Moment in flange is equal to CF into ZW. So we know both these values, substitute the values, you get moment in flange. So mu limiting will become summation of both these values, right? You can write it like this, so you can convert this in terms of XU max by D values. So this is XU max by D value, and the similar equation you can find in IS 456-2000 G 2.2, NXL G 2.2, IS 456-2000. You will find the similar formula over there. Second case is that when df by d is greater than 0.2. So what happens in this? The depth of rectangular portion of stress block is within the plane. It is assumed that this depth of constant stress 0.45 FCK is YF, where YF is equal to 0.15 into XU max plus 0.65 into DF, but not greater than DF. So the equations of C, T and Mu are obtained from equations derived in previous case only by changing the DF to YF. So wherever you have DF value in the previous equation, you replace that with the value of YF. So here C will become by replacing YF. So this is YF here, right? And all the other equations are same. In terms of lever arm, you have YF here. Right? So similar equations only by replacing DF with the YF. mu limiting, similarly we need to replace DF by YF. So I am doing a round where the equations are changing. All the other equations are same. Right? So this is again given in G 2.2.1 of IS 456-2000. So if you do not remember this, you can find this from the IS 456-2000 and next G 2.2.1 also. So let us solve one small example using this formulation. So determine limiting area of tube and limiting moment of the flange beam. BF is given as 1000 mm, DF is given 100 mm, BW is 300, cover is 50 mm, and D is 450 mm. Use an integrated Fe405 grade steel. So step number 1, we need to find out DF divided by the D ratio first. So for the limiting case, XU is equal to XU max. So 0.48 multiplied by D, that is 450, we get XU max is equal to 216 mm, which is greater than DF. So DF divided by D, so DF is 100, divided by D is 450, we get this ratio as 0.222, which is greater than 0.2. To calculate YF, C and T, which is step number 2. So YF formula we already know, 0.15 XU max plus 0.65 DF, but not greater than DF. So if you put the values, you will get your YF value as 97.4 mm. So C is equal to 0.446 FCK YF, BF minus BW plus 0.36 FCK XU max into BW. So we know all the values in this equation. So we get our compression value as 1074.7 kilonewton. Similarly, we have a formula for T, which is 0.87 FY AST. Right? So we need to find out area of T. Is it? Oh no, we are going to find out T, 0.87 FY AST. Right? So which is 1074 kilo, because compression is equal to tension. Right? C is equal to T. So we put this value here, so we can find out the value of AST. So 1074 divided by multiplied by 1000 divided by 0.87 FY into 415. So you get your AST value as 2976.67 mm square. Then step number 3, computation of MU. So we have a formula, MU limiting is equal to 0.36 XU max by D, into 1 minus 0.42 xu max by d fck bw d square plus 0.45 fck bf minus bw into yf multiplied by d minus yf divided by 2. So substitute all the values in this equation of MU limiting. You will get your limiting moment of resistance as 413.88 kilonewton into meter. Now moving to the next case, case number 3. This is again Yukan IS 456-2000 G2.3 NX chair. Neutral axis is in the web and the section is under reinforced section. So XU max is greater than XU is greater than DF. So again in this there are two sub cases. First is DF divided by XU is less than or equal to 0.43. The full depth of flanges having the constant stress. Second, DF divided by XU is greater than 0.43. The constant stress for the part of the depth of flange. So this is the difference between these two cases. So let's start with the case number A. DF divided by XU is less than or equal to 0.43. So this is a strain diagram you can see. So using the similar triangle rule, 0.0035 divided by XU is equal to 0.002 divided by XU minus H. What is H? H is equal to 0.43 XU. Since DF is less than or equal to H, depth of flange is less than or equal to H, the entire flange will be under constant stress of 0.45 FCK. The expressions of C, T and MU are of case 2A, wherein XU max is replaced by XU. So whatever equations we got in the case 2 part A, same equations we can use by replacing XU max with XU. So these are the equations and we can use this. C is equal to 0.446 FCK, DF into BF minus BW, 0.36 FCK, XU into BW, right? So it is replaced by XU here. And T is 0.87 FY AST, lever arm ZW and ZF. D minus 0.42 XU, D minus 0.5 DF. So we are replacing XU max with XU. And MU formula will become 0.36 XU by D into 1 minus 0.42 XU by D FCK BW D square plus 0.45 FCK BF minus BW into DF into D minus DF by 2. So here also XU max is replaced by XU value. Case number 2, DF divided by XU is greater than 0.43. Since depth of flange is greater than H, the part of flange having the constant stress of 0.45 FCK is assumed as YF. The expression of YF, C, T, MU are of case 2 part B, where XU max is replaced by XU. So here also we need to see this second case part B and replace XU max by XU in the formulas. So let us see one small example for that. Determine the moment of resistance of the beam with AST as 4 number 25 diameter bars and 2 number 21 diameter bars. BF is 1000 mm, DF is 100 mm, BW 300 mm, cover 50 mm, effective depth D is 450 mm, concrete grade M20 and steel grade Fe415. So if you calculate area of steel, that is 4 multiplied by pi by 4 d square plus 2 multiplied by 20 square, you will get your total area of steel as 2592 mm square. So step number 1, trial position of neutral axis. So assume XU to be in the flange and the beam is under reinforced. So compression is equal to tension, 0.36 FCKB into XU is equal to 0.87 FY AST. So if you find out the value of XU from this, you will get your XU value as 129.98, which is greater than DF, therefore neutral axis lies outside the flange. So our assumption is wrong. Neutral axis lies outside the flange. Step number 2, to determine XU value, first we need to check which case it is. So DF divided by D 100 divided by 450, which is 0.22, which is greater than 0.2, and this will be case number 2A. So for our assume df divided by xu greater than 0.43. So for this case, the formula is 0.36 FCK BW into XU plus 0.45 FCK BF minus BW into YI is equal to 0.87 FY AST, and Y equation is 0.15 XU plus 0.65 into DF. So substitute all these values in the equation and you can easily find the value of XU because that is the only unknown. So I get my XU value as 169.5 mm. XU max I can find from my score. XU max by D is 0.48 for Fe415 grade of steel. So I am getting my XU max value as 216 mm. So as XU max is greater than XU, section is under enforced section. So I can find out DF divided by XU exactly now. So DF is 100, XU is 169.5, so which is 0.59 and which is greater than 0.43. Therefore, our assumption is correct. So if assumption is correct, we know our case. Right. So step number 3, determine MU as per clause number G2.3. So if you see G2.3, you get this formula for MU 0.36 XU by D 1 minus 0.42 XU by D FCK BW square plus 0.45 FCK BF minus BW into Y into D minus YF divided by 2. And you know the value of YF also, which is 90.425 mm. XU divided by D, you can easily calculate. XU is 169.5, D is 450, so you get your exact value of XU divided by D as 0.376. Substitute all these values in the equation of MU and you will get your moment of resistance as 369.1 kilonewton into meter. Just verify your answers also, right? And if you get any different answer, you can verify it in the comment box. Now moving to the last case, that is case number 4, that is neutral axis is in the web and the section is over-enforced, which is XU is greater than XU max is greater than DF. So XU is equal to XU max and MU is computed as per case number 2. Clause number G2.2 or G2.1 depending on the DF divided by D ratio. So there is no separate equations for this. So let us see how we can modify the equations. So let's see one small example. Determine the moment of resistance of a beam with area of steel as 4825 mm square. BF is 1000, TF is 100, BW 300, cover 50, effective depth 450, concrete is IP20 and steel is IP415. So step number 1 is always common, trial depth. So assume XU is in the flange and beam is under enforced. Compression is equal to tension. 0.36 FCK BF into XU is equal to 0.37 FI AST. So you get your XU value as 241.96 mm, which is greater than DF, and therefore neutral axis lies outside the flange. Therefore you can conclude that neutral axis lies outside the flange. Moving to the step number 2, which will determine the XU value. So DF by D ratio, same 0.22, which is greater than 0.2, and assume DF by XU as greater than 0.43. So if XU by DF is greater than 0.43, we have this equation, which is 0.36 FCK BW into XU plus 0.45 FCK BF minus BW into YF is equal to 0.87 FY AST. And YF is equal to 0.15 XU plus 0.65 DF. Substitute all the values and you get your XU value as 429.17 mm and XU max is 0.48 times D. I am getting it as 216 mm. So here XU max is less than XU Therefore, you can conclude that the section is over reinforced section. Right? The section is over reinforced section. So we need to take XU is equal to XU max, which is equal to 216 mm. Step number 3, we need to determine the MU as per clause number G 2.2.1. We have this formula: MU is equal to 0.36 XU max by D into 1 minus 0.42 XU max by D, FCK BW into D square plus 0.45 FCK into BF minus BW into YF into D minus YF by 2, where YF we calculated as 97.4 mm, XU max by D we get as 0.48. So if you put all the values in the equation of MU, you will get your MU moment of resistance as 413.8 kilonewton into meter. Right, so these are the some of the examples that you can solve. So you need to remember the equations. If not, you need to know the clause number 584562000, from where you can refer later on by solving these examples. Right, so this is how you can do the analysis of the flanged beams. Right, so if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box. Right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next session.